Good afternoon. My name is Lori Skillings, and I am the Program Manager of the Georgia Space Grant Consortium at Georgia Tech. I am so happy to welcome you here today for our final World Space Week live stream presentation and our incredible panel of kids who love space today. They're going to share with you what things about space have excited them and motivated them to really focus on wanting a career in space, regardless of what that direction and that path might be. So if you have an interest in space and you enjoy looking up the stars and there's just something you can't get your mind off about it, whatever that passion may be, there's probably a job related to space out there for you. Just like me. I may not be going to space, but I love my job working in a space related field. So never give up, shoot for the stars, reach for the moon, if you will, and always aim higher. We hope you enjoy today's panel with kids who love space. Enjoy.
Hello everyone, my name is Gitika Gorthy and I'm the founder and CEO of Ignited Thinkers and currently a senior at Chantilly High School aspiring to be an aerospace physician and astronaut. And today I'm so excited to be joined by three very special guests and young change makers in the aerospace industry. First, we have kindergartner Ryan Serena, who has taken Twitter by a storm with her love for space. Next, we have seventh grader Christopher L., who is a kid ambassador for the Heinz Family Foundation and founder of the nonprofit Operation Orbit. And the one and only Naya Butler Craig, who is an aerospace engineering PhD student at Georgia Institute of Technology and member of the High Power Electric Propulsion Lab. Let's jump into what ignited their passions for the space industry and learn about what they're excited for the future of the space sector. Starting off with Ryan, what attracted you about the space industry? What makes you excited and wants to make you wake up every morning? I know for me, visiting the Air and Space Museum and launching model rockets was very exciting. So what about you? What excites you?
Well, I started to watch NASA videos on the TV and I started to get excited with NASA, so I did videos for NASA and I learned some planets that I do know and some I don't know. There's lots of stuff in outer space that I don't know of.
Yeah, I know the galaxy is so big and vast. It's always exciting to learn about the different parts in the galaxy, for sure. Christopher, what excites you?
Well, as early as I can recall, I've been interested in space for a while. And I was just interested in things that just messed with physics, like birds and airplanes. That got me into space. And also the fact that space is pretty much endless, how much we know about it and how much more there is to know about it.
Yeah, the limitless of space and how much we actually don't know about beyond even our own solar system, or actually even in our solar system. The unknown is definitely intriguing for all scientists and enthusiasts of space. And lastly, Naya?
I totally agree with my co-panelists here that the unknown is probably what attracted to me initially to space. But I think that, like you all said, the endless possibilities there also kind of turned my eye to what is possible for us to find out about Earth, what's our history and what's our future, what's the future of Earth based on what we find out about space.
Yeah, definitely. And, something that's really exciting me for the next mission that NASA is doing, which is NASA's Artemis mission, which will send the first woman and the first person of color to the moon, greatly excites me. And it's so incredible to see the diversity and representation that's occurring in the industry. So I'm curious to hear from you all. What does the NASA Artemis mission mean to you? Let's start off with Christopher.
Well, I'm so excited about the NASA Artemis mission. To me, it means that our generation and future generations will be working on the moon one day. It's a stepping stone to long duration missions in space. It means that humans are going to Mars. It's one step closer to reality.
100%. It's so exciting to see how we're investing in space and in goals to even, explore further beyond. So definitely agree. Ryan, do you want to share what excites you about NASA's Artemis mission?
Yes. So people who look like me who go into outer space that make me feel good inside, no matter what, and no matter if they look like me or you or anybody else you know, because it's good how you feel in the inside and the outside.
Yeah, through Ignited Thinkers, I always, stress the fact that one's gender, race, ethnicity, economic status, or really any factor, it does not determine their ability to go into any industry. And so seeing how NASA and other space organizations are advancing representation and diversity in the industry is truly remarkable and very inspirational. And Naya?
Totally agree. You guys all hit the nail on the head. I have the same exact kind of passions about the Artemis generation, and proud to be part of the Artemis generation, right? And so excited for what this may mean for my place in space and how I can contribute to space exploration. And I like that Christopher touched on long duration missions, because my focus being in propulsion, my type of propulsion is electric propulsion. And the goal is for that to be able to support those long in space duration missions. And so I'm excited for the new technology that's going to come about so that we can actually further support those really interesting and exciting missions.
Yeah, it's very exciting to think about. We're going to be on Mars one day as humans. That's very cool. Yeah, and a lot of the times I hear from the public who are not as engaged in the industry as we may be, that why invest in space? We should be investing on our planet. And so kind of to address this issue, how do you guys think the aerospace industry advocates for the sustainability of our planet? Naya, do you want to start us off with this?
Yes, I think that one thing that probably would benefit all of our communities is to talk more about how space exploration and space missions have pretty much led the way or set a path for a lot of technological advances back here on Earth. So space missions and the Apollo missions more specifically have influenced medical practices and influenced different medical technologies that have come about in recent years. One of my favorite inventions, or one of my favorite kind of examples of this, is the filtration system on the ISS, where the astronauts have to drink and recycle all types of liquid that they use, whether it's their pee or sweat, they end up having to drink it. And so those filtration systems could be applied back on Earth, right, for those more remote areas that need better filtration for their water. So there's just so much that space actually does contribute back here on Earth. It's just a matter of knowing and educating ourselves about what those things are.
Yeah, and recently I was reading about how solar panels, something that we're trying to implement greatly in our communities and school systems, have actually been invented because of space technology. And so that space to just innovate, create, is really provided by the space sector. So I definitely agree with what you were saying. Christopher, do you want to explain how aerospace industry advocates for the sustainability of our planet?
Well, the aerospace industry is making the industry more attractive to our generation by elevating issues that concern my generation, such as climate change. Many companies and government agencies are developing technologies that are aimed towards solutions to some of Earth's issues. For example, NASA satellites are used for monitoring things like sea level rise. This data is then shared with industry. This is great, and we need more, and we need for companies to continue to do things like this.
Definitely. Yeah, it's really great to see how we're able to monitor the evolution of our planet, seeing where climate change is occurring, how our icebergs are melting. It's very impactful. And the aerospace industry greatly helps us understand the evolution of our planet and understand how the future of our planet could look like. Ryan?
Well, Hubble is a telescope that helps us see up when there's meteors or lots of stuff, because you can't see much from when you're down on the Earth, but when you're in a spacecraft, you can see more on and up in outer space. You can see a little bit in a telescope.
Yeah, that's how the satellites, right? They're just monitoring our planet, things that we cannot see just on here in our own little locations. Of course, we always have to get like that bird's eye perspective. And so my next question for you guys is, do you think we have broken the glass ceiling in the aerospace industry that's been there for decades, or do you still think we have steps to take? And if you think we do have to take more steps, what are those steps that we can take as a generation and in order to create more diversity and representation in the industry? Let's start off with Ryan.
So that Dr. Proctor was number 4, and so there will be more, and we still have a long way to go though.
Yeah, of course. I definitely agree. It was so exciting to see the Inspiration 4X crew going to space and how Dr. Proctor was the 4th African American woman to go. It's incredible to see that, and it's so inspirational for all girls and around the world, and especially for those who are represented by her mission. And I 100% agree with a specific role model of mine is Dr. Mae Jameson, who is the first African American woman to go to space, and she was an aerospace physician, something that I would like to do. So I greatly look up to what she does as well. Naya?
Totally agree with you both. Dr. Jemison is another one of my main role models as well. Dr. Proctor, she happens to also be a friend who I got to see her dreams come true. So totally inspired by it. And as far as glass ceilings go, of course, I believe there is a long way to go. But what I love is that I've seen women and people of color at all levels of leadership in the space industry. So, there's a lot more to space than just the actual launch and going to space, right? There's directing NASA centers, there's directing branches and space chiefs and all types of stuff. And so to see that women have permeated all the levels and all the different facets of space exploration just kind of gives me the hope that, yes, there's a long way to go, but we're in the right direction. We're headed in the right direction to, increase accessibility and diversity in our industry.
Yes, of course. And Christopher?
So I think we just scratched the glass ceiling. I now see astronauts and engineers from all types of diverse backgrounds. I love it, and I hope that embracing people from all backgrounds continues to be the path forward.
Yeah, I 100% am excited to see the future. I know the NASA's Artemis mission is definitely a step forward, and to see not only in the space exploration missions, but how there's fellowships like the Brooke Owens Fellowship, trying to empower women and females and minorities in general into the industry is definitely exciting to see. And my last question for you all is, how has your identity, whether it be your background or your gender, how has it helped you become who you are today in the aerospace industry? Ryan, do you want to start us off?
Well, you can do whatever you put your mind to, because kids like you or me, they can do whatever they put their mind to, no matter what that keeps them from what they're doing. They gotta keep pushing forward, no matter what. 'Cause no matter what stops them from doing what they love, they gotta keep trying. Don't give up.
Beautifully said, Ryan. I absolutely 100% agree with that. Nothing could ever define a person. If you love space or you love STEM, you love anything, you can just go after it. There's nothing stopping anyone. Beautifully said. Christopher?
Well, I'm pretty vocal about my love for all things of space, and I made an effort to use the platform that I have to educate, advocate, and to inspire change while on my journey. Pursuing what I love and using my platform with purpose defines me in the aerospace industry.
Yeah, I'm so glad that even though you're only in 7th grade, you're taking that initiative to give back, to inspire others who are your age, younger, and even older to go into the aerospace industry. So thank you for your work. And lastly, Naya.
Yes, I love what my co-panelists have said, especially when you talk about, tapping into really who you are and your unique perspective. And perspective is made of what? Experiences. And so all of us come with very different experiences, very different backgrounds, and that is what makes us unique and valuable to our industry. And so for me, as a Black woman, as a person who loves dance, I have different passions. I find myself to be very creative. I like spoken word. All of my different passions and things and experiences make me up. And those are the things that I'm allowed to then apply to my work, because space isn't just as black and white as, not space, engineering or science isn't ever black and white. Innovation requires creativity, and those are the things that influence my creativity and the way that I think and the way that I'm wired. So I'm grateful for the ability to show up as all of myself and bring that all to my work, because I feel like that's what makes me valuable, my uniqueness.
Beautifully said. I think diversity is critical in any industry because if we all think alike, if we all came from the same background and we come into a problem, then we're all going to be stuck at the same exact issue. We can't go forward from it. So our unique backgrounds, whether we're immigrants or whether we're from a different family background, it all helps us into furthering our purpose and our mission to further space exploration and advancements to help the humanity overall. So thank you guys all so much for joining me in this panel. It was great to see how, whether you're in kindergarten or whether you're all the way in your PhD studies or beyond, we're all working towards one main goal, which is making space accessible. So thank you guys for your time to inspire the next generation.
Thank you. Thank you all.